Terri Lodge, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Paul.
There's been a lot of talk in the media about US nuclear policy. What's going on?
Well, the President has asked for a review after the original nuclear posture review on the nuclear posture review implementation. This involves all sorts of things: reductions, targeting, early warning or not, taking them off alert, tactical nuclear weapons. It involves a whole host of topics, some very important, some that have been sort of awaiting decision for a long time. So that's what's going on, and that's why people are interested in what he might do and decide to do.
What are the options that the President is faced with?
Well, I think the options that most people are concerned about is reductions. How low will he go? We are currently at 1550 with the New START treaty. We could go, I believe, certainly 1,000 or lower. Many people are interested in what he actually decides to do, whether he'll make a big, bold statement or whether it'll be more, shall we say, status quo. And status quo, his advisors have said, is an option.
And that must be very important in relation to Russia.
Yes.
What are the linkages with Russia on this?
Well, most believe that reductions will have to be done in concert with the treaty with Russia. They are lower than we are, although they are modernizing their nuclear forces. We'll have to watch that carefully, but any treaty will be done in concert with Russia.
What do these sort of treaties contain?
Well, they contain mutual reductions, of course, and put in treaty, which is international law, and verification provisions. A new treaty will likely have more intrusive verification provisions on warheads, let's say.
And that was one of the big issues about the New START treaty, is the restarting of verification.
Right. The New START treaty put, shall we say, boots on the ground in Russia to inspect and to verify, which had been not the case under the Moscow Treaty. So it was very important to reestablish that regime.
And what impact would the US elections have on this process?
Well, I think it would have a great effect. If a new president were to take office, I think he would want to pause, study what has gone on in the past, study what the president had ordered up, and make up his own policies.
So in other words, it would be a pause?
I think so.
And in relation to that, what's happening with the nuclear budget?
Well, I think, as you know, we have a Budget Control Act. It's kind of brought a lot of focus onto our deficit, and nuclear weapons are part of that. The nuclear budget has survived very well. We have very adequate money, and we have plus-ups in that funding. So I think that the nuclear budget is faring very well.
And taking a sort of side look at the nuclear security issues, what's happening on this CTBT? First of all, what is CTBT?
The Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty is a worldwide treaty that bans nuclear tests and nuclear testing worldwide. We have had a moratorium in the United States. We have not tested for many, many years. I think we should get the benefit of our policies and ask others not to test, particularly, let's say, in Iran or North Korea.
And my understanding, especially into the Iranian question, is they only know they have a nuclear weapon if they test.
Well, some people believe that you can test a weapon by using computer modeling. The Iranians have a long way to go in terms of producing a nuclear weapon that is testable, let's say, I think, at least a few years. But let's hope they never make that decision to produce a nuclear weapon.
That's a very good point. And so what are the next steps that the US has to take to find an appropriate nuclear deterrent for the 21st century?
Well, I think we can take reductions. I think that 1,000 or less is very doable. We can cover all our targets. We can have some security in the fact that we have duplication of weapons, and I think that's where we should be going.
Terri Lodge, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul Hamill.